Storytime by TCTS Ministries. Shattered. Mom and I had gone to spend the evening at Aunt May's, who lived in the heart of the city in a little village called Fight Square, which was at the time very famous for its high crimes, drug activity, and violence. My cousin Ty was only 8 years old, exactly 2 years younger than me. We shared a deep interest in bugs, Ty and I, as we stayed up most of the night, talking and planning to build an ant farm come early morning, since the mood of things in the neighborhood seemed to have been more calm then. Ty slept on the bed as I fell asleep on the floor. When morning had finally arrived, Ty and I rushed down the stairs, and to our surprise, Mom and Aunt May were already up, sitting to the kitchen table talking while they drank coffee. I asked Mom and Aunt May if Ty and I can go outside to play. Surprisingly, they both agreed. After all, it was only morning. We both rushed out into the backyard and grabbed an old little fish tank to be used for the ant farm. We made sure that the bottom of the tank on the inside was completely covered with dirt before then lining the edges with leaves and little twigs we had already gathered beforehand. We gathered a bunch of black ants and dropped them into the tank. At last, our little ant farm was finally complete. We were so excited we lay on the ground onto our bellies and began quietly watching the ants as they crawled quickly around the tank. Suddenly, the sound of screaming voices and gunshots had abruptly ended Ty and my quiet state of euphoria when we then looked up and saw people screaming as they ran past our house. Before we were able to react, one of the bullets had completely shattered our ant farm as a young man was entering our yard, being chased by two gunmen and whispering quickly past us. Mom and Aunt May rushed out onto the back porch and began frantically yelling for us to come into the house. We obeyed as we then rushed onto the porch and into the house, before then slamming and locking the door behind us. Listen, after that horrific early morning, not only have our faith in God has strengthened, but our need to stop taking God's grace for granted had also been well received, especially after realizing that our lives could have also been suddenly shattered had it not been for the mighty hand of God protecting us.